Hello again, Andy with Handy Andy Handyman, Handy Andy on Demand, our small handyman division. We're out today doing an inspection repair bid. So this home is under contract and the buyer and seller are negotiating what they're going to do. And so this one has some drainage issues, and it's been this way since it was built. Some of it is added a little bit by just time and the neighbors not cleaning their gutters. And so this is the biggest section of water right here. This whole driveway drains right here. The neighbor drains across here, down to the corner, and then it cuts across here and comes onto this property. And so when you get down in here, this just needs to be filled with river rock so it'll stop this soil erosion. But once we get in this area, this would just be river rock up until right about here where this piece of concrete stuck in the mud here. From this way down, we would trench and install a 4-inch drilled pipe and then overlay it with some stone all the way from here right down to this corner. What's happening now is in super heavy rains, as you come down through here, you can see they got a crawl space door right here. So the crawl space is divided. So this is a separate crawl space going back towards the front of the house. And so we need to build a custom well right here, about 4 foot around, and then seal it on both sides. The trick with that is it's going to get some surface water here. So we'd actually have to put a drain inside the well. So any water filling in isn't pooling and then going under the crawl space door. It'd have to be tied back to this pipe, which will have to drain here and around the corner. We'll need access to this property here to be able to come back through and run a pipe along the back side of the garage into the backyard. And we'll show you that kind of in a second. We would pick up this gutter right here and then this gutter right here as well. The problem with this gutter is there's no kick out flashing in this area here. We have the same issue on the other side of the garage. So water's dropping right through here and getting caught in this corner and then leaching into the crawl space a little bit. The standing water that the inspector noted inside the crawl space is because this AC unit is running all the time. The drain is, the condensate line is draining right here, so it's up against this soil in the summertime is just staying super saturated with water all the time. It has no way to get out of there. So we'll extend it. In fact, you can see it dripping right now. And it's not, this unit's not even running, but we'll extend this drain line across to pick up into our drain pipe here. And that'll solve a lot of this problem. And then on the inside of the crawl space, I'm not gonna go in there right now. It's getting ready to rain, so we want to get out of here, but it just needs to be re-insulated. That's it. In real heavy rain, you know, we've had some 4-inch rains here this year. I think the staining inside the crawl space is from previous years. I don't even think it's from this year. There's new vapor barrier down in there. It's dusty, but it's not been flooded over in this area right here. As we come back down here, they've got a sump pump. Instead of addressing the drainage issues itself, they did what a lot of these water treatment companies do. They'll just sell you a pump system or a more expensive system than this. They'll trench it and line the whole inside of this foundation all the way up through and use an extractor system. So it'll be on a pump and it'll put all the water out. I'm not sure who did this system, but this gutter is completely clogged here. And again, we get up close on it, you can see all the streaking right here. And that's why this trim rotted here. This is really poor repair, but you see the streaking because the water's getting between the gutter. And this thing's been totally clogged for probably years. People forget about this stuff. So we'd like to just drain this right into our 4-inch drain and get this out of here and run it around the back of the garage. If we're able to do that, that'll solve a lot of this stuff. It really will. You know, people don't realize they call the waterproofing companies, and most of those guys are dealing with selling you a system to get the water out of your crawl space instead of dealing with the cause. And that's the problem with so many people in the trades, is that they treat the symptoms, but they don't get to causation. I'd rather get to causation. And a lot of times, 95% of the times, we can deal with water intrusion by handling the outside drainage versus selling you an expensive system that, again, has to be maintained. On the left side of the house, we just want to extend this downspout out to the driveway. You got a nice pitch and run right here, except for water that gets along this corner where this garbage can is. You can see in the past where they've made some repairs, because this downspout here, the water is actually leaching against the foundation here, and you can see where they've added some extra concrete. But the drainage here has actually caused this erosion right here underneath this concrete. So this should just be patched and you really want to lift it up a little bit more so the water is flowing back out towards the middle of the drive. Once it gets where I'm walking, we're good. When you look at this little gutter over here, you kind of get a feel for what's going on without that kick out flashing. Here, so much water comes through off of there's a whole roof above here. So the gutter behind me drains to this gutter as well, and then it comes right here. Well, it's got a screen on it, so you can see whether this gutter is clogged or not. This screen should be removed. It needs kick out flashing back here because you can actually see they've replaced all the siding because it's rotted out. See all the debris that's getting caught along this edge right here? And see down here, it's actually made a hole in the concrete right here, and it's draining through here. So I don't know if someone drilled that hole through or where it actually goes, but my guess is you can see this piece of siding is rotted through. The water's just saturating through here and getting in between this outside wall and the wall and brick veneer for the garage. The garage is a separate unit from the house, so you can't access it through the house, only through the garage itself. We pick it up back down here. You can see when they built these units out, they all drained back this way. And so to pick up this neighbor's drainage, they had this little landscaping piece cut through here. It was originally, all these weeds should be pulled out of here and just restored to river rock. And it really wouldn't be a bad idea to set a drain right here for this neighbor to catch his water, run a pipe underground and get it up over here. But that's going to take the HOA coming together to do it. You can see how it's sunken down here. All this water, when it hits this corner, ends up draining right here. You can see the river rocks right here and pebbles into this neighbor's lot right here. What happens there? It just ponds until eventually the ground absorbs it. You can see the house behind us all drains this way too. All of it. So if we can pick up, come around the corner right here of the garage and pick this up and just drain it in this area, that'll solve the problem. Once you get to the little berm hill right here, you're good. So that'll solve a lot of the problems here. The other things that are in the inspection report are some electrical stuff. There's some bracing in the basement, a little bit of rotted wood. Nothing super major. The drainage is the biggest thing. And if I stick around here long enough, I think we're going to get rained on to be able to see. This piece right here is actually a foundation drain that we need to go ahead and just clear it out, make sure it's clear and flowing. It looks like it's pretty dry. It doesn't even look like it really gets any water out of it. But this is a great little neighborhood in here. It's close to everything. You can actually see up here is another condensate line. Whether it's used or not, I don't really know. But this gutter back here is a little problematic because in heavy rains, the water is really just coming right over and landing right here. And that's some of the water staining we saw inside the foundation. So anyway, I'm Andy with HandyANdy. My brother and I have been doing this for nearly 30 years in Atlanta. We've got 26 guys presently. We do just about everything on houses. Finding good guys, work on your home. It's really hard to do. My brother and I personally work in this business. I'm not just a salesperson. We actually get out here and do the work. And when we do this project, I'll be doing this personally with my brother. But you see the nice pitch and run here. And we're really going to mirror that on the other side of the house. So if you manage your water, it's easy enough. But if you don't, it'll manage you and it'll really cause some mess to your house. You can catch us at 770-912-2829. Sometimes you can get to me directly at 770-265-9017. I'm Andy. See you at the next house. Bye for now.